Welcome to today's edition of CSCC News Update. I'm Caitlin Caserta.
And I'm Mary Catherine Bednar. Our top story this afternoon, Greg Mortensen Pennies for Peace campaign in conjunction with a literacy program started right here on campus. Here's our own Caitlin Caserta with the story.
Many students in the United States don't realize how lucky they are to receive the educations that they do. Greg Mortensen, New York Times national bestseller, has set up a campaign called Pennies for Peace to help raise money for the children in Pakistan and Afghanistan to help build schools for them.
First cup, you're a stranger. Second cup, a friend. And third cup, you become family.
In Pakistan, a penny can go a long way buying students anything from a pencil for a cent or a teacher's salary for a year for 600 cents. Mortensen's efforts have resulted in building 131 schools in rural and volatile regions of Pakistan and Afghanistan, which provide education to more than 58,000 students. His journey began when he tried to climb the world's second highest mountain, K2. When he came down, he was very sick, and the locals took him in even though they had nothing for themselves. While there, he noticed there was no education for the children, and he wanted to do something about it. Mortensen believes every child should be able to go to school regardless of where they live or where they come from. Here's what he had to say.
Community, not just the U.S., we could eradicate global illiteracy in the next decade, meaning every single child could go to school.
I can become doctors and help a lot of people.
There have been jars set up around campus to raise money for the children in need. Mortensen received a check for $4,000 from the college to help aid in his campaign. Tricia Foltz Bennett, the Associate Dean from the Honors College, was a part of the Literacy Outreach Initiative, which incorporated 27 schools within the Charleston County area.
Interested in not only the literacy component, but also in getting their students to participate in Pennies for Peace. And so that's how it all came together.
5,000 members of the Charleston community came to listen to Greg Mortensen speak this past Thursday. If you would like to contribute to the Pennies for Peace, please visit www.penniesforpeace.org. For CFC Scene, I'm Caitlin Caserta.
Coming up next, Callie Baxley investigates food choices on campus.
I'm standing here in front of Liberty, which is one of the College of Charleston's cafeterias. Along with cafeterias, the College of Charleston provides students with convenience stores and even a CVS on campus. In order to live a healthy lifestyle, your body requires a certain amount of nutrients. Do the options that the college provide us with give us enough of those nutrients? We went around the campus to find out.
If you decided to invest in a meal plan, then you probably spent a lot of time at the Hungry Cougar or Liberty. The Hungry Cougar is a small dining area that consists of a sandwich section, pizza section, and an ever-changing section. You can also find candy, chips, and fruit cups. Liberty is a much larger cafeteria that provides these along with a pasta and grill sections. Dining dollars from the college are used at the Stern Center. Here you can find Chick-fil-A, Holy Moly, and Quiznos. Einstein's is a popular bagel place. The two convenience stores on campus provide snacks and frozen foods. For everything else, there is an unaffiliated 24-hour CVS located in the center of campus. We asked the manager of the Hungry Cougar, Drew McGarity, and a student at CFC what their thoughts were.
We also would offer anything special that somebody needs. If they have allergies, if they have lactose intolerance, we have some different types of dairy as far as lactose-free milks.
Not even a vegetarian anymore because I had to keep taking like vitamin supplements and all of that. So I just feel like there's no options on campus. It's really hard to be a vegetarian on our campus.
There you have it. Those are your food options at the College of Charleston. For more information, you can go visit these places during school hours or go online to the CFC website. For CFC Scene, I'm Callie Baxley.
And now Meredith O'Connor observes the growing trend in electronic textbooks.
With each new semester comes the great investment of large, costly textbooks. As the internet and ebook readers like Amazon's Kindle further obsolete paper pages, students begin to wonder why their textbooks are not following the electronic trend.
To me, the biggest advantages are cost for the student, ability to access it 24/7 from anywhere. Also, just the fact of not having to carry around books in your backpack all the time would seriously be an advantage for students.
Textbooks, in their archaic form, can be costly and cumbersome, but there are many advantages as well. They don't expire or require the internet or electricity to access. On the other hand, electronic textbooks are environmentally friendly and more readily available, but that is not to say that they are without their flaws.
I use electronic textbooks and in my classes, and I've had varying responses about that. So now I make sure that I have a textbook that students can get either electronically or physically, just as a choice. The readers and stuff, they're still not quite standardized yet.
But how would the electronic switch affect textbook sellers?
It would definitely hurt the bookstores as far as sales goes. Most of them are available for like half the price of a printed book. We still see a real strong leaning toward the printed book. Students still seem to prefer that.
While the college's official bookstore associated with Barnes & Noble declined to comment, they did offer a flyer for their Nook, like the Kindle program for personal computers. As academic resources move in a digital direction, it seems that a clear conversion may not necessarily be the most popular idea. For CFC Scene, I'm Meredith O'Connor.
While our campus has much to offer our students, space is something they struggle to provide. Nikki Butler has the story behind the lack of field space for club sports.
Many club and intramural sports teams use these fields at James Island for their practices and for their games. However, the fields have recently been closed for construction, leaving many teams without any place to play. Before construction started, the fields, often referred to as the yard, were covered in potholes, anthills, and were a favorite digging ground for local gophers, making for less than optimum playing conditions.
Came to head that were there were some injuries last year that I think were pretty substantial, at least to the people that got injured, and the college has got to the point where they're willing to invest the time and the money and the resources into making the facility better out there. Weather permitting, project completion should be Thanksgiving, and then just a matter of time for rain, because there is no irrigation out there to germinate the seed and get it playable.
I think it's great that they're redoing the fields, just because it was not anywhere close to par when we had it. But the way they did it, we would have at least liked to have a couple weeks notice. We had about 5 days notice that they were going to start construction, and we weren't provided with any sorts of alternatives, no ideas, nothing. So it was kind of left up to us to figure out what we were going to do, and we didn't really have enough time to think about it. So I think it's great, but at the same time, it would have been nice if there was a little bit more foresight.
While there is still controversy over how the construction of the James Island field was handled, one thing's for sure, students are excited to have a new and safe place to play. For CFC Scene, I'm Nikki Butler.
And now Reggie Patterson has the newest details on the renovation of the cistern.
If you go to College of Charleston, you've definitely noticed that the buildings and cistern yard have been covered in scaffolding for about the past year. With the cistern being the central part of campus, most students are ready for it to be open again.
The main reason for the construction is that the buildings and cistern yard haven't been renovated since before Hurricane Hugo and were in need of serious structural repair in order to increase the life of the structures. The $3 to $4 million project consists of renovating the exteriors to Randolph Hall, Porter's Lodge, and the Toll Library. From what you can see from the outside, it looks like Toll Library and the backside of Randolph Hall are almost finished. Students seem to understand the importance of the construction, but are frustrated with it as well.
College of Charleston construction area, it's a good thing. It's just taking a little too long, longer than what's been expected. I think I'm ready for it to be over with, as I think a lot of students are. A lot of students actually like to go out there and play frisbee, study in between classes. And the fact that it's been blocked off and tamed, it really does put a hurt onto the College of Charleston. So I'm ready for it to be over with. Hopefully it's done by the spring of next year, because I'm ready to go outside and play.
I tried to speak with officials inside the Mashburn construction office on 5 College Way about the project, but they said they weren't allowed to divulge any details. This construction worker spoke anonymously and did give me a hint on when the project was going to be finished.
I'm really not technically. I'm not allowed to.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I would. I mean, we're going to be here another month.
According to the college's website, cfc.edu, as soon as the construction on the buildings is complete, the landscaping and cistern yard will be restored, and it will reopen to the public and students. For CFC Scene, I'm Reggie Patterson.
Moving off campus, our own Mary Catherine Bednar reports on the living space outside of what the college has to offer.
Charleston is a city that is known for its southern charm and historic beauty, and many students are lucky enough to be able to live in old historic homes downtown. But living off campus in a city like Charleston has its advantages and disadvantages. What do students think about living off campus, and what is their opinion about the rent prices?
I think it's a little bit ridiculous. We're not getting enough bang for our buck. A lot of the houses are really bad conditions, and we're having to pay like $600 and up a month. I just think it's a little bit ridiculous.
Many students at the College of Charleston feel that they are paying astronomical prices for rental homes that are unkept and essentially falling apart. But those students also believe that the benefits of living off campus outweigh the costs.
I really didn't like sharing a bedroom, so it's nice to have my own room, and it's also nice to have a kitchen. Yeah.
I was able to speak with Professor Russell, who is head of the Historic Preservation Department at the College of Charleston, and asked him why landlords are not putting out any money to renovate downtown homes and why the cost of living for students is so high.
You have to be careful about renovating. Now, for a landlord, there's no pressure to renovate a rental house because there's still such a demand for rental properties that they can almost always find somebody who will rent a dump. The market is such that, or has been such, that that's what the going rate is. And if you say that the bottom end of the real estate rental market is about $1,100 for a two-bedroom place, then that's why it's so expensive, because there are people who are willing to pay more than that.
Downtown Charleston will continue to be a desirable place for students to live, and the advantages of freedom and privacy will keep many students renting off-campus homes.
For CFC Scene, I'm Mary Catherine Bednar. Well, that's all for now. For CFC Scene, I'm Mary Catherine Bednar.
And I'm Caitlin Caserta.